This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
You have a rich person's name. Like, you should be a billionaire with the name Winfield. Anyway, call me back, bro.
It is the 26th of July. My name is Corey Winfield. This is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Doing it on a Wednesday today. We didn't do one yesterday, but this is the Make Good. And joining me in the studio is my good friend, Justin Burke. How you doing, Justin?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. You actually are doing fabulous.
Yeah.
And we went out. Well, I would say we went out, but I was there. But you actually went and did some disc golfing over the weekend. How was that?
Fabulous. It was kind of a pain, but I got through it.
Yeah, the guys were saying that you were texting them saying, I hurt everywhere.
Yeah.
It was not a weak course.
No, it says Hickory Hills. It should be Hickory Mountain.
Yeah. Everybody was just dying and days later still complaining. And one guy that went out there, his name was Bryce, and he's like, man, I give Mitch a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Because Mitch is bigger
right.
than most people. And he was out there doing it, man. And
yeah,
he's all about that, being active and changing his life around. You know, he was, I don't know if I'm sure he told you the story about how he was actually bedridden.
Yeah, I think so.
And like just going pee was a chore and it was just a nightmare, but he started doing little exercises and actually was able to get up out of bed, start walking. And so he's changed his life, you know, and he's in recovery. And, you know, to change your life from that and from, you know, being severely overweight, it's a great story he's got.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive. It definitely gives me encouragement.
Yeah, I think, would you say you're like, I can't leave. If Mitch is up there, if Mitch is still going, I got to still do it too.
Yeah.
Because if he can do it, I can do it.
I think that's what gave us all hope, really, because Mitch was still doing it and not ready to give up on it. So,
that's awesome.
Because even Bryce was like, man, that course is a pain.
Yeah. I'm so glad I was just broadcasting.
I bet.
Yeah. It was hot. It was 118 degrees that day. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
99% humidity. I checked it.
It felt like it. My shirt was drenched by the time I got done.
And you wore your fabulous. Oh, no, you wore your Want to Buy a Shirt fabulous t-shirt, which is awesome. Your mom likes it.
Yeah, she loves it.
She's a big fan. So it's a black shirt with a white shirt on it, but it's like vinyl.
Yep.
And that's a t-shirt that says Want to Buy a Shirt on it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and this is fabulous. Yeah, I like it. Of course, that all is from the idea that we had from the UFAM rally. But I want to talk to you today, Mr. Burke, about a blog of yours.
Yeah, what's that?
That I read last week. And it really hit home because you went through some personal things recently.
Yeah.
And very hurtful things were said. It's just a horrible process. And you are now starting to like pick the pieces up. Whatever happened. You're dusting yourself off and you're getting back to being you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I respect that, man, because even you said when you started going through this situation that you're called a guy. And you're like, hey, man, let's go get drunk. And he was in recovery and was like, no.
Yeah, it actually surprised me because we were old drinking buddies. And I figured he was always up for a good time. And yeah, it totally changed.
And that was awesome. That's the guy you called and he kind of saved your ass.
Yeah,
pretty much. Sure. And you went from that to like now you're just like in the blog, you're talking about you're going to meetings again. You know, you're finding things to do with yourself and you got to like yourself before anybody else will like you.
Right.
And you're finding those things that you like to do. And do you live in a big mansion on the lake?
No.
Not yet. Doesn't mean you can't one day.
Right.
You know, but whatever circumstance we're stuck in, it feels like we're stuck in. Or whatever we're going through, it feels like hell sometimes. It feels like we're never going to get out of it. But you just give it time. And the next thing you know, things are changing and you're starting to find yourself again. And I was talking to you the other day about being codependent And sometimes you'll get sucked right into that shit, man. Like you won't even see it coming.
Yeah, it sucks.
And you just think, oh, well, I'm being a nice guy. You know, I like to do things for people, like to help people out. And next thing you know, you're sucked right in. You know, everything that you do is based on, well, is this person going to be happy if I do this? Or will this person be okay if I do this? And in your case, sometimes the person will come along and just be not fun, just to ruin your time of anything, you know. And if you kind of look deeper at the situation, you know, which I'm sure you will, because everything that we go through is an experience that we learn from. So I guarantee you start seeing some red flags again. You're going to be like, been down that road.
Exactly.
Don't want to do that again. And it still hurts, you know, but.
It does, but we get through it. We know that, I know that my higher power's got something better planned for me.
Yep. He saved you there.
Dodged a bullet.
And I used to joke and say I was going to build a time machine, stuff like that. And then I realized I didn't want to build a time machine because I don't want to go back and do all that stuff over. And you can't change the past anyway.
No, we just learn from it and move on.
You know? And there was a relationship I had that was it was horrible. I shouldn't have been in it. And there's nothing I could do about it. You know, like what happened. But the only thing I could do is make sure I didn't repeat those mistakes again.
Right.
And so that's why I kind of focused on. And, you know, there was a woman that, and I went on some dates or whatever, and she just started throwing them red flags up, you know, and I'm like, nah. And I dumped her over a text.
Ooh.
But I didn't know it was a text, though. It was a Facebook Messenger. I thought that was different.
No, that's still classified as a text.
Well, see, I didn't know at the time. Ignorance.
Ignorance is blessed sometimes, is what they say.
Yeah, well, she said some not nice things to me, and that actually added validation to my decision to like, yeah, nope, not going to do that. Not going to settle.
Yeah.
Not going to be in a relationship that isn't good for me or doesn't move me forward. And I'm not going to be treated that way. And I left treatment. I wrote down, you know, some stuff. And one of the things was don't settle and be with someone who's going to love you like you love them. You know, and
yeah, I thought I found that, but evidently not. But it's all right.
It's tricky. You know, someone comes into your life and it's new and it's exciting. And like I said, some people can just suck you in and you don't even realize what's going on.
Right.
Now, your boy did say there's some red flags here.
Yeah, he did.
I threw some at you.
I should listen to Winfield. Mm-hmm. I need one of those T-shirts.
You and Tyrone both.
Yep.
But I did mention some stuff. But then at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and beat you up over it every single day. You know, there's a point where it's like, well, Justin's happy, so just be happy for him. You know, like I said what I needed to say, I guess. But you'll know, and you needed to go through from some weird way. You needed to go through this.
Yeah.
And it had to happen just like it did. But
Definitely,
now,
for sure,
you know, things are looking good, man, I think. And don't sweat it. Don't look for it. It'll happen.
Yeah.
You know, and
been hanging out with the guys a lot lately. After work, we go disc golfing and whatnot. We try to do something fun together.
And they're fun dudes, man.
Yeah.
Mitch and Jeremy.
Yep.
Adam was like, they don't ever ask me to do anything. I was like, well. And I was like, yeah, because I don't like you, dude. No, I didn't say that.
Well, no, I think a lot of it is just that the fact we know he lives an hour away after we get out of work at 5, you know. Sometimes we don't get done disc golfing until 8 o'clock at night. So for him to have to drive another hour home, you know, and he's got a family actually at home, so
Yeah.
it makes a big difference.
Yeah, he's got to probably mow the yard, get dinner ready, whatever it is, you know, like.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Mitch doesn't have to do that. Jeremy doesn't have to do that. You know, like,
no.
You guys have that bachelor life where you can go do that. And, you know, I think he understands. And I just was like, yeah, well, wait till they do ask you, then turn them down.
Right.
So if he turns you down hardcore, that was because I told him to do that.
Oh.
So don't take it personal.
Snap.
Which I don't think you would anyway.
No.
No, but it's good to see you guys hanging out and doing things outside of work.
I did ask him if he was going to the email you sent out this morning for the baseball game.
Yeah.
So
Oh, fun.
I plan on going. I don't know who else does. I'm sure Jeremy will go.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool.
It's on Sunday.
Yeah.
You said you're not going.
I might go. Probably.
You should.
Yeah, I probably will. Well, I told him I would go, so I should go. But
Yeah.
that'll be fun. Another chance for everybody to kind of hang out and do our thing. But no, I want to talk to you about something that we started yesterday. And it is a blog assignment, or actually was started Monday evening, right?
Yeah.
And how the blog assignment works is kind of like the 217 game that we used to play in treatment, where we would give each other stuff to say, and then we have to say it. And looking back, and even at the time, we realized that it was so much easier to say the stuff that was really on our mind, because we had to say this embarrassing stuff or this funny stuff. And we had to say it with a straight face and work it into a real story. That became harder than actually telling the real story that we've been hiding for a long time, you know?
Right.
And so it was an easy way to kind of open up. And so this is with blogs, and I don't give you a word to say. I give you like a title and something that you have to blog about. And I gave 4 different categories. You did yours.
Yep.
And Mitch did his. And if you read Mitch's blog, you're going to have a hard time figuring out which one was the assigned blog title and blog topic. I think so, because I mean, it's a Mitchell blog, you know. And Marnie was like, "Oh, you can't do that to those guys. You're gonna make them blah blah blah." And I'm like, "No, honey. Like, it actually does help." And I try to explain to my theory.
I thought it was fun.
Theory to her, yeah.
I came in yesterday right after the dentist, and you were busy doing something. I just sat down, typed out a quick blog real quick, made sure I was the first one, so that way I could pick the topic I wanted.
Smart man.
I know.
And you could run with them too. And once Adam completes his in about, I'd be surprised. Well, maybe he'll do it today. But when he completes his, which is about, 2 different topics, and I'll go ahead and say his. It's 5 things that my mom and dad didn't know about me, which could be interesting, could be scary.
Right.
And then the other one is about a certain movie that he's excited to see. So once he completes that, then I'll kind of talk to you guys about, here's some ideas. Because I want to do this game too. That's what I realized.
Is that why you wrote 4 things?
Yeah, maybe. But I did a blog yesterday too about it. So if you want to read more about what I'm talking about, 217recovery.com. But check out Justin's blog. Like I said, I read your blog the other day, and when you were talking about, you know, getting back to yourself and do that hit home, and I'm just like, that's great, you know, and it's good to hear that, and it's good that you're sharing that with other people as well.
Right. Because other people need to hear it. Because when we hit that point in sobriety too, that we get a couple years and we think that we don't need the meetings, we don't need all the basic stuff that got us to where we're at, and we start to slack, and it shows in our daily life tremendously. Even my mom noticed it in me when I quit going to meetings. She's like, you know, you're not as thoughtful, as kind person as you used to be. It kind of took me back a little bit. I'm like, what? And she's like, no, the old you's starting to show again, and it's pretty scary. So
Moms will tell us how it is too.
yeah.
Did you take offense to that, or were you just trying to be mindful of what she just told you?
I was trying to be mindful of what she just told me. I didn't like snap back at her or nothing, you know. I was like, well, maybe you're all right. Maybe I do need to go to more meetings. I live in an area where we can go to a meeting at any time, so there's no excuse. So that's where I just have to get up and do it.
And you work at a place that can hold a meeting at any time.
Right.
Call up some friends. Yo, get up here.
True that.
Let's have a meeting. Yeah, that's the cool thing about the 217 Recovery Center is people can come here and host their meetings. And they had a Dharma meeting. Dharma meetings on Tuesdays, and they're going to have a new one on Fridays at 6. Yep. Tuesdays, 6, Fridays at 6 here at the 217 Recovery Center. And people like Dharma. and it was kind of packed yesterday.
Yeah, it was. I planned on going to it, and I was just gonna let all the new guys go to it instead because it was a packed little room.
Yeah. Of course, you can join on Zoom, and a couple people did, which was cool. But yeah, any kind of meeting that anybody wants to start, it's up to them. We're going to start. I think it's called Work of Art. It's going to be an art meeting. I can't remember the exact name, but in the first week, which is going to be this week, but I think it's going to be next week. Well, for Adam, it's going to be today too. But we're going to make T-shirts. We have a couple Cricut machines, and we'll show people how to make T-shirts. If somebody has a design they want to make, we'll show them how to make that, help them make it, help them use the Cricut software, and print it out. And I know you're kind of interested in this kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So you can print out your fabulous shirts.
It was my goal last week was learn how to make a shirt. So I guess it's just the next step is learn. Like I learned how to weed out all the stuff and use your heat press. I'm the only one in the office besides you that can actually use it.
Nice.
Which is kind of impressive.
Nice. Yeah, but at some point we're going to have to get a new one though, and everybody else will have to press shirts too.
Yeah. Now
I wonder though, and maybe if someone makes shirts out there, just happen to be listening to this podcast, I don't know why you would be, but like, I don't know if there's something with the altitude, but at the house, at the home office, I would press them, they'd be fine. And here it seems like we have to press them twice. Same temperature, same amount of time. I just don't understand what's going on with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense to me neither. I'm learning. Like you asked me the other day, well, you guys only did 3 shirts. Well, we repressed everything twice. And so hopefully it would stick.
Yeah, it should be like 4 minutes per shirt. You guys were out there for 8 hours.
Yeah.
They put in a full day at the shop. And they had 3 shirts.
It was fun.
Like, where are the rest of them? No, and we didn't really want to do all the shirts anyway. But yeah, it takes a minute to learn how to do it. But, we really want to start that. Or we're going to start that meeting. And we'll post it online when we do. And if you have questions, feel free to call the office, 231-421-1903.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, when's that Work of Art group?
Yeah. Call in. Everyone call in and bug Mitchell.
Yeah. I'm like, when's the Work of Art group?
It'll be great.
Yeah, he'll appreciate it. He really likes answering the phone. It's something that he's good at it too.
Yeah, he is.
I remember when he first started, he would get so frustrated because he would come ask us questions, and then we'd be like, well, ask him this. And then he'd ask him that. And then he's I don't know. It was funny. And everybody's kind of growing into their role, I think, a lot better. And it's just nice to see people feeling like they fit in. And actually fitting in. Mm-hmm. Hanging out with coworkers, you're going to meetings, and, Mitch and Jeremy, they're funny.
Yeah, they are.
And they're going to start a podcast.
I can't wait to listen to their podcast.
Did you hear what they were calling it?
The Redactive?
Redacted something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it should be good. And I was up at 5 a.m. I was looking for some equipment to buy them. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to buy them anything. I'll help them start it. And, they can use the platform. But I think, and I would assume they would want to do it on their own. I mean, there were people that wanted to do podcasts, with us, or for us, whatever you want to call it. And they wanted to be a part of the 217 thing. And I think it was because they didn't want to pay for anything, which is cool. And if they don't have money, then we can still swing them on that somehow. But, I would assume they would want to start their own thing. I'll help them.
Right.
Absolutely. I'll help anybody who really wants to do something. But for them to have it be their own,
Yeah, I was kind of busting their balls yesterday about that, telling them that they need to get a board like you got.
Yeah.
And they were asking, well, how much is that? I was like, oh, it's only a couple hundred used.
You can get it used for like $350. And new it's still like $600, and then they got a new one that's like $799. And
well, maybe you might have to buy a new one, the updated one. So you could like give them a cheap discount on one. by being a nice guy.
217 Recovery is a nonprofit. Corey Winfield is not. No, I've hooked people up. I hooked you up before with some stuff. So, like, I don't know. We'll see. And I just think that they're going to want to do it on their own at the end of the day. You know, they're going to want to be their own boss. They're going to want to do their own thing, you know, and
have their own website, hopefully.
Yeah. You know, and we'll put links on our website, you know, like we're going to be friends, you know, right. I'll promote them, you know, and they can cross promote, you know, like nothing wrong with that. But that way they don't have to worry about, oh, did we say that this or that? Now Corey's going to be mad. Hey, man, that's not my podcast. That's your guys' podcast.
Right.
I'm just helping you.
And they're both smart individuals.
Mm-hmm. They can
very enlightened.
Hustle for some money if they need some. You know, like when we started, I was starting to tell them yesterday that we just had one mic, and I think we threw it out there that we needed a table and a tent for this event, and people started donating, you know, money to us. So that was very helpful for sure, you know, and I'm sure they have enough people in their lives that are proud of them that would be like, hey, here's $20, you know, towards that board, or, you know, how much Spreaker cost or how much the website cost. And
right.
The cool thing about starting up a podcast or a website, there's always deals. Like if they were to sign up, like just don't go out and buy the plan right now, but just put your email in, sign up, do their little free plan, and then you start getting these emails like, hey, here's 80% off, you know, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or when you do subscribe to the little plan, they're like, hey, just for $10 more a year, you can have this plan. And you're like, oh, damn. But then once you've been in it for a minute, then they don't care and you get 0 discounts. And then you tell them, hey, I'm just going to let my stuff cancel. And then the next day I'll go ahead and take advantage of the discount. They're like, okay. And then they bill me anyway and take it right out of my account, even though my credit card expired.
Yeah, that was messed up.
That was real messed up. They did that. And then our app did that to me as well. I was like, what in the F, man?
That's messed.
So we don't need expiration dates, or what is that just for ordering pizzas where we can enter? I really don't understand what's the point of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they're taking money out anyway, I should have disputed it.
You should have.
Yeah.
You had time to.
Yeah.
You tell us all to do that stuff.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, I was so mad about it that I think that would have just, or could have pushed me over the edge.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go over the edge, man. I'm living a pretty good life.
The edge gets real slippery.
Yeah. Like, why'd you go back out? Why'd you think today was a good day to drink? Because Spreaker made me mad. You know, like that'd be silly. So you just got to know when to pick your battles. And that one I just had to walk away from. Kind of like PGI Graphics in Petoskey, who screwed up a bunch of our hats. I was so furious. And they screwed them up like 2 or 3 times. And then I was like, just give me our money back. And they're like, no, we did them how we're supposed to do them. And I was like, you sewed in the sweatband, you idiot. Like, what are you talking about? You're not supposed to do it that way. And I talked to other people in the industry and they're like, that's a rookie mistake. I'm like, yeah, and they screwed up our hats, you know. And like one of our logos was a circle and they didn't even have it connecting. Like that's how off it was. Ugh. So yeah, clearly I haven't forgiven them. I don't know if I ever will, but I just got to know when to say when and just move on with my own sanity. And
right. We need to get some new hats made with the new logo.
Want to buy a hat? Is that your new thing?
Sure.
So you're going to have a shirt that says want to buy a shirt, and you're going to have a hat that says want to buy a hat.
Yep. Why not?
And we could flip it around, have your hat say want to buy a shirt, and your shirt say want to buy a hat.
Yeah.
A little QR code on you.
Mm-hmm.
Walking billboard.
Yeah. That's how we get it done.
Like, what are you doing, Justin? Well, I'm going to go to the mall, sell some shirts. What?
And then you ask them at the most awkward time.
Yep.
That's how you get them. Yep.
Catch them off guard. What are they going to say? Yeah.
Right.
Perfect strategy.
It was.
She bought a shirt. That lady did.
We gave her one.
Yeah, did we?
Yeah.
I think she still gave us money, though.
She did donate.
Yeah.
To our cause.
Yeah, so that was nice. That lady was pretty cool. But, yeah, we'll look into the hats. I know I got a hat press thing, but, you know, the embroidered ones, I like those.
Right.
But I can't get anybody to do them.
That's messed up.
We need to buy an embroidery machine. So look for hats coming soon. But Justin, I know you got to get out of here, but I just want to have you on for a minute to kind of talk about where you're at, and that I really liked your blog, and that
Well, thank you.
it shows growth and recovery and where you are in life, and thank God you called the right person when you did, and he kind of talked you out of some bad ideas, and it's good to see you getting out there and living life again, man, not just giving up and actually doing things that you like to do and discovering yourself again. And
Heck yeah.
this is still a pretty new life to you,
Yeah.
compared to your old way of living. And
So I've only been at it for a few years. So yeah, it's still pretty new.
yeah, when you're with somebody for like a year.
Yeah. See, I bounced around from sober living houses to actually being with someone to actually just being by myself now, because I have 2 roommates, but we don't hardly ever see each other. So it's like I'm by myself, and it was like rough at the start. Like, you sold me a PlayStation really cheap just to give me something to do to keep my attention span somewhere else. So, I mean, all those little things helped.
Yeah, and you kind of lucked into that place. There's in Traverse City, there's so many people looking for places.
Yeah, I really did.
Everything happens for a reason, and as crazy as it sounds, you'll look back and go, wow, like you landed pretty good.
Yeah, I did. Thanks, Marnie.
Yeah, you landed pretty good, man. So proud of you, man. We'll see what happens this weekend at the beach volleyball thing. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I guess we're grilling burgers and hot dogs. We're tasked with that.
Sweet.
Doing a podcast and whatever else we get into, but yeah, it'll be a good time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're in the Traverse City or Northern Michigan area, you feel free to stop by. Go to our Facebook, and also you can go to our webpage too, 217recovery.com, and learn more about that. But thanks again, Justin, and we'll talk to you later.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.